Going live. Sorry. Anybody out there tuning in to us? Hello. Or you might tune in soon enough. This is Bassam, coming to you from Peakhurst, my sister's place. I've been staying here the last few days. How are you guys doing in this curious time we're living in? So much stuff coming out of the woodwork, it seems, out of the past, skeletons in the closet. Things are not as they seem to be. They're certainly not as we have been told or as we have believed them to be. Don't you think? I mean, it's true that it's hard to know what's what. Suddenly everyone is a broadcasting agent. In the past it used to be that there were very few broadcasting sources. Channel 7, Channel 9, Channel 10, whatever it is. And before that it was the radio. So few had the power of transmission. Today, anyone and everyone with a little device like the one I've got in my hand can broadcast anything. So it's a tremendous power right here in our hands to have a voice. The risk, of course, is that with that power, it's hard to say what's what. Anyone can be convincing, anyone can be persuasive. One thing we know for sure is many of us have a cultivated deep distrust of the narrative that we've been fed, that we've been raised on all these years. They certainly haven't won our, or gained our trust, to just put it that way. So we look elsewhere. Alternative news is one of those places. Doesn't mean, of course, that everything or much of it is true, but it opens up the whole field of transmission. We get to hear what other people think, what other people are thinking. So it's both good and bad. And we're left to have to discern, to discriminate between what appears to be truth and what appears to be fabricated. But then this raises the question too, doesn't it? What is truth? I mean, is that some kind of fundamental reality that exists, that that's truth and that's not? In what sense? In respect to what? In what context? Truth is malleable. Truth is subjective. You might recall in one of our talks in the past we said that nothing in and of itself has meaning. We give meaning to reality. Reality doesn't have meaning. We give it meaning. We use the mind to ascribe meaning to everything. Hello, Besima. I'm just doing a live video. So we give meaning to things. We ascribe meaning. We have the power to allocate meaning to what we see. So truth is subjective. There's no one take on reality. And our combined perspective coagulates into the bigger picture. Anyway, today I wanted then to make it personal and to touch on the past, the power of the past, the effect that it has on us in the present, particularly if elements of the past we decide is unbecoming of us. We shouldn't have done that, or that shouldn't have happened. It creates a lot of shame, a lot of guilt. And the question is, what happens to the past if it is of that nature? Does it just go away? Does memory fade and no longer has an effect on the way we live our lives, the way we think, the way we behave? I think it's safe to say that most of us have a sense of being weighed down by something. I'm going to share a story with you, a personal story for me in relation to this issue or this topic. Many years ago, I think I was about 25, so 20-something years ago, when I experienced my first heartbreak. Or maybe it wasn't the first heartbreak, but this one really devastated me. I mean, it rendered me kind of like immobile. I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything. I was living in Miami at the time. I was completely devastated, heartbroken. And I just couldn't function. And I went to San Francisco. And when I was in San Francisco, a couple of people, the story is really vague, but there's a couple of people who took pity on my sorry ass at that time. One person who I stayed with and showed me just great generosity, great kindness. Another person also is the same. I mean, I was dysfunctional. I was down and out, and I couldn't work. And one person also went to such a degree that they even gave me money in order to leave San Francisco and go to Madrid. I was working in the fashion business at the time, and anyway, my work was calling me in Madrid that I could go and make some money and just try to get back on my feet again. So she actually paid for my ticket to Madrid. This is days before the internet, before Wi-Fi, before phones, Facebook, so on. The point is, I lost contact with these two people and was not able to reach them again. And recently, as I said earlier, things that come out of the woodwork, I got in touch. I was in touch with one person who could put me in touch. Do you know who these people were? I don't remember, and so on. So finally, I was able to get their contact details, and I just sent them a message this morning saying that I wanted to connect and I wanted to thank them for their kindness, and I wanted to pay back whatever it is that I owed. And it just felt so good to be able to address this issue, as frightening as it is, because so much shame had been built up over this, weighed heavily on my conscience all these years. I hadn't paid back that money. I need to pay back that money. Who are these people? Where are these people? How can I get in touch? The only person that can connect me with them is the person who, was the cause of my heartbreak. And so it seemed to be easier just to let it go, but of course it doesn't go. It stays in your conscience. It weighed down on my conscience. I knew that at some point that I'd have to address it, and so the opportunity came up. I got in touch with my old flame, and I said, "Hey, does your sister remember this person? And so I got in contact with them and sent them that message. Now I'm just waiting to hear back from them. to have this opportunity to make amends, to have this opportunity not to run away from the past, not to turn my back on it, but to actually turn and look it straight in the eye, irrespective of the shame, irrespective of the guilt, irrespective of the fear and the anxiety, to do what you feel, and for me to have done what I feel is the right thing to do. So I thought this would be a necessary conversation to bring up, and to ask the question, what unresolved issues from your past are weighing you down, weighing heavily on your conscience, that you could turn around and face and deal with, irrespective of the fear. We like to stay in our comfort zone. We don't want to deal with this stuff. But our comfort zone can be restrictive. Our comfort zone can be really limiting. So, what are your thoughts? Is there something that is weighing heavily on you that you would like to address, that you would like to face, that you don't necessarily have to go out of your way to tackle it, but is there some way that you can invite it into your life, that you can release it? There's a saying, I can't remember who it's ascribed to, but it says, if you want to fly, you have to let go of the shit that's weighing you down. If you want to fly, you have to let go of the shit that's weighing you down. What shit is weighing you down? I'm not saying that we have to judge it. I'm saying we can address it, and what relief might we experience if we do so. Well, no one has showed up to this extraordinary live session. It's just you and me, Bassam. That's fine. I have this fantasy that someday there'll be hundreds of people just lining up to engage in these intimate conversations. That's it, my friends. Let me know your thoughts. You can watch the recording. I wish you well. And any questions you have, if you want to see more of this, let me know in the comments below. Take care. Bye-bye.